Hey, I'm just here with Dan, who's jumped on the course with me, which is the developer course. And you're in the first intake. You're in the first 50 guys that are in the program. So Dan, do you mind just telling us a bit about who you are, where you're from, your profession?
Yeah, I'm Dan. I'm from New Zealand. I'm a civils labourer. Been interested in property development for a while, and I came across Adam's YouTube videos, and I found them really informative. Clicked the link to his Facebook page, and then that's how I got signed up. And I've learnt a ton load since then. Yeah, it's going good. Learnt heaps. I thought it would be a lot more straightforward for some reason, but it's not. But I'm learning how to make it straightforward with his guidance.
Yeah. So I'm not holding back on the information. I'm giving it all to you. It's not sugar-coated.
Nah, there's heaps of it too, which is good. Sit there and watch the videos, and then you feel 10 times smarter after.
Awesome. Thank you for that. This isn't rehearsed either. So you've never heard these questions. I'm just making them up as we go. Yeah. So we're only up to week 3 too, by the way. So, yeah. I mean, we're technically halfway, but what you don't know is I'm actually adding additional information in the program as well. So,
oh yeah, sweet.
There's still at least another 50+% more knowledge to go, and a bit of mindset stuff in there too.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. The mindset's good as well, because when you take on some of the information, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but the mindset tasks you get to do with the goals and all that keeps you on track. And yeah, sure, I should be able to smash it.
Yeah, well, I want to, because I when I started, I was like so scattered. And then when I finally found out that if you actually become an expert or pick a niche market, you'll do so much better and you'll be more focused on just doing one thing. So
yeah.
Can I ask you, Dan, what initially motivated you to search for how to develop property, or whatever you searched in YouTube, property development? Why did you do that to start with? What were you looking for?
So I have a crook back. I've been a civils labourer since I was 14, and got a bad back, and I've been off work. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get into another profession and grow my money somehow, so I don't have to work a physical job. And then yeah, property development would be a good one, because I've been interested in it since I was, for a few years anyway. And then
yeah, awesome. And you're Brisbane based? I can't remember whether you said that, but you did tell me that before I started recording. Where did were you in New Zealand before you came to Brisbane?
I was in Perth for a little bit, but then moved to Brisbane recently. Yeah.
Okay. And moved for work or another reason? Moved for a girl?
Yeah, to get away from one.
Perth is probably a small town. Brisbane's probably not much bigger though.
Nah, I like Brisbane. It's good.
Yeah,
it's a lot more happening than Perth.
Yes, and we have probably a little bit colder weather, even though it's still quite warm. I've heard. Yeah. I know Perth is quite hot. I suppose the other thing I wanted to ask you, what do you want to get out of the course, and what's your main motivation? You kind of touched on it before.
To learn a skill set to set me up for the future, and gain knowledge on how to do it myself, because I've signed up to a few different type of things over the years, and it's more like they do it for you, and then it doesn't really work out and you don't really learn much. But with the videos and all the tasks each week, I found them like really good, because then you just follow them, and then once you've done them, you're like, oh wow, look, 5 times smarter than I was before the week before.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, it's good to hear about the activities. I put a lot of thought into what can I get people to do every week that is going to accelerate you forward, because there's no point in doing a course, especially not one that's, you know, you've invested a lot of money. I want to make sure you get a really good return on that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not just watch a video and then pray to God that
do nothing.
Yeah, it's actual work to be done each week to improve and get better, which, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, that's really great feedback. Thank you. And I mean, what do you think is possible after doing the course, or after, you know, starting the course and starting to get active? Your videos just cut out too, by the way. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, can you say that again? Someone was ringing me.
Oh, right. Okay. What do you think is possible? I mean, we're only halfway through, and you got another phone call coming in. We'll go again, third time lucky.
Yeah.
What do you think is possible after sort of doing half of the course, expecting that you'll, you know, complete the rest of it in the next few weeks? What's possible for you?
Well, whatever you put in, you get out. And with the information provided, like if I put in the work, I reckon I can try and get a few of my own projects underway and go from there. The information's been good. Just need to follow it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? What's a few projects look like in terms of money wise? Is your motivation, I'm guessing it's to replace your income so you don't have to go back to work?
Yeah, so mine, I want to try and keep, if I can, to get a passive income to save my back.
Yeah, awesome.
So if I do a few townhouse projects and keep 1 or 2 on each one, or something like that, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, cool. And what's your strategy, if you don't mind sharing? Like, what have you pinpointed that you want to focus on? And I know it's going to change probably over the next few weeks as we get into a couple other things, but what do you think you'll end up looking for and then developing? What type of projects and what size?
Yeah, to start with, I was looking small with the amount of money I've got. I was looking for maybe like buy a house, get a DA uplift and flick it on. If I get a little bit more money coming in, I'll try and develop them. Like I'm looking North Brisbane, townhouse, like 4 to 5 townhouses on like an 800 square site. Yeah, and then move on from there. I'd like to do a land subdivision one day. That'd be good.
Yeah, you're picking the harder one. The land subdivision's easier than the townhouses.
Yeah, I know what's going on there to a degree, not with like the getting the site and all that, but I know what's going on with all the earthworks and pipe laying, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. At the moment, with the supply chain issues and all that stuff, you just got to factor that into your equation. But I mean, the market is very hot at the moment, or it is in Brisbane, especially inner city pockets, as you know. And we were just talking about, you get a property off market, it's so easy to sell it to the market. Even you don't even have to build anything, especially in the current market. And you can pick up so much money. It's just about getting that buy right. And really it's about getting it, in my view, in a hot market, it's off market, or it's it's really off market before anyone else sees it, either through a real estate agent, a buyer's agent, or directly you go and door knock.
Yeah.
So I know you're working on that now.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a, that's one thing I need to work on, is off market, putting in the work, ringing up agents and talking to them.
Yeah, there's a little hack that is coming to be uploaded to the resources. I touched on it in stage 1. It's a bit of a hack that will accelerate you to find off-market properties, but I won't give it away just yet. It'll be up in the next sort of few days to a week, just to let you know.
Okay.
So it'll accelerate your site finding 10 times. And honestly, it's really not just that, but the whole system. That's really the key to finding off-market properties under market value. And you can easily, on a site your size, you can easily pick up 400,000 or 500,000 on a buy-in. I've done it on some of my smaller sites in a flat market, let alone a rising one. So the other question I wanted to ask, I know a lot of guys aren't in the building industry that are looking at doing the course, or even other guys that are in the program. What advantage do you think that has to you having a building background in terms of the entire process? Does it help you a little bit, or does it help you a lot?
A little bit, because you know how difficult it is to build on sites and that. But if the money's not there, if it's not profitable for you to build the house yourself or do any of the earthworks yourself, yeah,
it's not worth doing.
Nah.
Yeah, and I bang on about construction just happens, and you actually make the money before you even do the build.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
So I know for builders and people in that industry like to think it's all about the building, but it's not. So how are you going? You know the build part of it, but the stages beforehand, how are you going with understanding that and sort of grasping that whole concept, knowing that it's not actually about the build now?
Yeah, well, I just thought it was as simple as put an offer on a house, get it, build the houses, sell them. But
yeah,
there's so much that goes on before you even start building, with like accountants, lawyers, feasibility, heaps of stuff. Like I didn't know any of that, or how to do a FISO or anything like that. So yeah, that's helping.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go in like blind like I would have if I hadn't done the course.
Yeah, awesome, cool. That's really good. What about, I haven't asked you, have you owned properties before? Have you bought and sold properties, or do you own properties already? I know a lot of people do, but then there's other people that are just starting.
Yeah, I've owned 2 houses, one in New Zealand and then one at the entrance in Sydney. I bought them both as investment properties, and I made a little bit of money on the first one. And then the second one, I broke up with my ex-partner, so I had to sell it.
Damn.
sold it for like it was only like a 10 grand loss and in the end. But the first one, I had like major troubles with, like, the guy in there was 70, and it turns out he was smoking meth in the house.
Oh no, yeah.
And somebody reported it to the council, so I had to get that clean. Cost me like 20,000.
Holy wow.
Yeah, and then I sold it. I made a good chunk of money on that one, but then I sold it too early. And then, yeah, just heaps of bugger ups, really, with like property managers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's all right. You're still young, and you've got a little bit of experience under the belt already. I know most of the guys already own 1 or 2 properties, and they just want to go to like the next level and not wait for the market. And then there's some guys, only a small handful, I'd say, that have never bought property. I was in that boat when I started, never bought a property. And I thought, well, I don't need to have any of my own money. I can just go out and buy property. And you said you drove past it the other day, the first one I did.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah, so it's all good fun and a big learning curve. So, you know, you're definitely ahead of where I was back then when I started.
Yeah, I like property development because it's a little bit more active and you have a say in what happens. Like, you pick the site and the builders and all of that sort of stuff. It's not just buy a house and do nothing, which I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's good as well. I think that's a good strategy, just at the effect of the market with a buy and hold property. And
crazy tenants who smoke meth.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. When you might, in 10 years time, you might own 100 properties and you might have it happen again, but it's not going to matter at that point.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit worse than that as well, because he owned the local gang money and they came in and smashed in my garage door on the house with an axe.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it was a good one that gets probably posted on the news.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
there is insurance for that. I don't know what it's like in New Zealand, but here there is landlord insurance. I'm hoping that would cover an event like that. I've never been in that situation personally, but I've had a pretty good run of tenants. I mean, there is one property that I wish, or I shouldn't say I wish, that, you know, needs to be demolished, and I'm kind of hoping it burns down, that nobody gets hurt. But other than that, I've had a pretty good run with tenants. But yeah, it obviously hasn't put you off from investing in property again. So you're back on the horse.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good to hear. Hey, I'll wrap up the recording on that note. And thanks so much, Dan. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And look forward to finishing the program with you and coaching you on buying some properties in Brisbane, which is my home hunting ground. So you're in the box seat.
Yeah, sweet. I can't wait. Let's go.
Awesome.